What's up, everybody? It's Peace. Hi, welcome to another video. So this was the results of the first test hand. So let's see how the second test hand will go. I'm going to go through this one a little bit faster. I posted the video that ended on this 9 interruption board just a few hours ago, so you can take a look at that if you'd like. All right. And that opening hand was subpar, and we ended up drawing a brick, and then our bonus draw was another brick. So let's see what we can produce really quickly right now. Shuffle up the deck, do a little cutsy-wutsy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, a couple normal summons. That's not what you want to see, but we do have 2 hand traps, which is nice. This is better than having 0. And then we have a starter, well, 2 starters, but they're both a normal summon. So what we're going to do is we're actually wanting to be able to special summon Spright Blue, and you can't do that too easily with the Fiendsmith line. So what I'm going to do is actually normal summon Hyperia here, trigger the effect to draw a card. So I'll just draw 1 card. It's a 3rd hand trap that we have for our opponent now. So that's going to really add to our disruptions. Then we're going to special summon Spright Blue for our 2nd summon. That's going to actually search. So you can actually search Carrot or Red here to negate monster effects, but I am going to search out Spright Jet because you're not going to end on much with the. Well, actually, no, we can still end on a lot. We're actually going to play the safest way possible to play around a monster effect from our opponent, and we're going to make sure that the Spright Red's always alive. So we're going to summon our monster negate here. Now, the next thing we can do is actually summon a link 2 so that the Spright Red is still on. So we're going to actually link that away for Spright Sprint to give us an extra body. Spright Sprint on someone is going to dump a level 2. We're going to go ahead and dump an Angler. Angler will actually trigger summoning out 2 Nimble Beavers from our deck. Nimble Beaver, Nimble Beaver. And now we can actually enter into the Fiendsmith part of our deck. Link those 2 away for Moon. Notice how we could have gone straight for Moon, but once we link into Requiem, that turns off our red, and we're susceptible to monster hand traps. Now, at any point in time, you can use red to tribute the sprint to negate and destroy whatever monster effect they activate. So next up, you're going to use Moon to go into Requiem. Then you use Requiem. You're actually going to summon from your hand. If you didn't know Requiem can do that, well, now you know. Effective Lacrima to dump. So we did lose 1 card hand advantage, unfortunately, but we'll go ahead and make up for it later. Dump your Fiendsmith Engraver. Now, in this instance, we are unable to go for our DDD Wave High King Caesar because we are lacking the extra body for the Spright Sprint, and I don't want to get rid of my Spright Red negate, even though we would be able to stop a Bestial, for example, or a Nibiru, the Primal Being. So what we're actually going to do is go the, what's it called? The Desiree line. So we're actually going to go ahead and Fiendsmith Engraver, put back Moon, bring it out, and then you're going to link 2 into your Fiendsmith sequence. Now you're going to use Fiendsmith sequence effect to fusion summon. You're going to fuse the engravers with your Requiem, or the engraver and the Lacrima with your Requiem to make a copy of Fiendsmith's Desiree. And then now from here, you're going to be able to overlay these 2 for your Gigantic Spright. Gigantic Spright effect. On res, you're going to go ahead and detach your sequence. This will actually summon any level 2 monster from your deck. Now, you haven't gone through Jet, so you might as well just grab a Jet. Jet effect on summon will search out, you can either go Smashers or Starter. I like Starter here because it gives you an extra interruption. It can bring out a Carrot. Don't forget to Fiendsmith sequence target Desiree so that you have your negates online for your face-up negates. And then from here, the best thing to do, what I like, is going into SP Little Knight, activating your Spright Starter to summon out your Carrot, And now, this is an extremely unassuming board. You set your infinite impermanence, and then you pass turn. So let me count the disruptions for you and explain why they're disruptions. Ash Blossom, you know. Ghost Ogre, you know, is 2. Imperm is 3. So the 3 hand traps, obviously. 4 is the red, the monster negate. 5 is the carrot, the spawn trap negate. 6 is the SP Little Knight banish. 7 is the Desiree. And 8 is the... Oh my gosh, never mind. All right, so this is probably a little bit less than that. All right, so it's just 7 interruptions, which is still a lot, but you have to layer them perfectly or else you're going to have a bad time. Because the carrot and the red need to tribute a Link 2 or level 2 monster in order to activate their effect, you are going to be tributing these SP Little Knight or one of your other monsters, so the order definitely matters. I thought I had Lacrima and Requiem in Graveyard, which I usually do when I go the DDD line, but we couldn't because we were missing another level 2 body. So I had to go the Desiree line, so I don't have that Lacrima on the board to be able to banish with the SP. So the idea here is to use your Desiree negate first. Then you can use your SP to banish the Desiree until end phase. Then you can use either the red or the carrot to tribute the Little Knight. And then you can either use the red or the carrot, whichever one you didn't use, to tribute the other one to negate the final card. And then you still have the other interruptions. And then at the end, the, what's it called? The SP will resolve, so you can go into Requiem immediately. And then, is there any other follow-up? No, that's literally your only follow-up. So you do have the Desiree online, and usually another body, plus they're playing through 3 extra hand traps. All right, do I have time for one more? Yeah, I'll do one more for you guys, and then I'll post a deck profile probably for tomorrow. Just to get an idea of like what I was doing with this. Because I was playing this at either, I think it was 48 cards or 42 cards. Yeah, I think it was 42, and it wasn't as good as I thought it was. Sometimes you have to go higher in the card count. So Hyperia is a 1-of, and it's just glued to the hand. Honestly, you could probably cut the Hyperia. It's just so you have an extra card to summon off of the what's it called? What's that thing called? Gigantic Spright. All right, so here we did open starter, which is nice. Deception and Diabellstar. We actually have a way to... Honestly, I think we go Hyperia here to start, but you do want your Deception to resolve. So we're actually going to go Deception, and we're going to go Deception effect, Tribute Diabellstar to search, and we're going to actually get the Spright Azamina here. If you get drolled, it's fine. You still end on a lot because you have Spright Starter and this Veiler, but having only one hand trap kind of stinks. All right, you can actually go ahead and normal summon Hyperia and draw a bonus card. So draw Spright Galaverse. That's not that bad. That can really either protect your board or go for the OTK. I really like having that card. Then you can activate Spright Azamina, Murecielago, ditch the Deception. Oh my gosh, in the last test hand before, I forgot to draw my bonus card by banishing Wanted. I'll make sure to not do that this time. So Murecielago will summon, and you'll go ahead and get a copy of Wanted, so you can get to your Diabellstar once again. Get Wanted. In this situation, in under 5 summons, you can actually... No, that would be exactly 5 summons. So I don't know if I want to do that. You could go directly into Sprint, but what I'm going to do here is actually link these away for Moon. And then I'm going to go Hollowed, put back the Murecielago to add itself back. Then you can go Hollowed, chain Wanted. Wanted can search a copy of Diabellstar out of your deck to deck then, which is nice, because you are going to draw a bonus card. Then you reveal Azamina Ilia Sylvia. You send the Wanted and special summon it. Then you can go full Fiendsmith combo, link this away for the Requiem effect, summon out the Lacrima from your deck this time, instead of our hand. Where is it? effect to dump Engraver. Do we have a good ditch for the Diabellstar summon? I honestly don't think so, because you'd either be getting rid of Gamma or part of your Fiendsmith package. So just because of that, I think we're going to go the Desiree line here instead of the DDD. So unfortunate, I didn't get to show off the DDD this video, but it's fine. You're going to Requiem, target the Lacrima. You're going to ditch the Requiem for the Diabellstar. Diabellstar can use its effect to set from deck. You're going to set the... Oh my gosh, I should have drawn a card. Maybe I would have gotten something good to ditch. But it's okay. We're going to just finish it this way. You're going to set the Sinful Spoils of Slumber Morian to your field. Then you can use Engraver to put back Moon, special it out. Then you can, to keep Lacrima Engraver, you could actually go Moon and then into Sequence. But we're going to go directly into Sequence because that's just silly. Sequence here. And I'll show you something cool. Sequence effect, you can fusion summon using the Engraver and the Lacrima with the Requiem to actually make your Desiree. Then, from there, you can actually use the Sequence and the Diabellstar to make Spright Sprind. Spright Sprind effect will trigger letting you dump a copy of Nimble Angler, which can trigger on a new chain to summon 2 Nimble Beavers from your main deck. There they are. You can actually go ahead and keep the Sprint for a disruption later. Overlay these 2 for your Gigantic Spright. Go ahead and make sure to not forget their Sequence on your Desiree. You can go ahead and activate Spright Starter. We haven't gone through blue or red, so we're going to go through both. We can go blue effect to search out Jet, Jet effect to search. You already have your Spright Gamma Burst. You could add your Smashers for another disruption, and I think we will over the second starter because we're going to have a full board during our opponent's turn, so there's no reason to summon. So we're actually going to bring the Spright Smashers to our hand instead, which is a really powerful disruption. Then from here, you can overlay for another monster negate in the form of Gin Buster. Then you can use the Gigantic Spright effect to special from deck. So we do have a face-up negate, a Omni negate, and a monster negate. I think a Spell and Trap negate would go pretty well here, since we also have the Effect Veiler and a Book of Moon for their monster pushes, and the Spright Sprint to bounce something for their monster push as well. So we have a lot of monster interaction. We're actually going to use the Gigantic Spright to summon out a extra protection in the form of the Spright Carrot. So Carrot is the Spell and Trap negate. And now let's go ahead and set our 2 cards. Actually, before, we should probably not forget our draw for the 8th time this turn. Banish Wanted, put Deception on the bottom, and then draw a bonus card. The bonus card is Nibiru, the Primal Being, of course. So you set your cards, and then let's go ahead and count our disruptions and explain what they are. Azamina Ilia Sylvia is our first disruption, so that's an Omni negate by tributing itself as cost. Second is Fiendsmith's Desiree, can target face-up cards and negate them. Third is the Sinful Spoils Morian, to Book of Moon, one of your opponent's cards. Or a special summon monster on the field, I'm sorry. Spright Sprint can detach from Gigantic Spright to bounce a card when a monster is summoned. So that's the 4th disruption. A 5th disruption is the detach 2 materials for the Gin Buster to negate a monster effect and burn for 500. A 6th disruption is to tribute either the Sprint, the Gigantic, or the Gin Buster to negate a spell and trap and destroy it as well. A 7th disruption is the Spright Smashers. So you banish your starter from your graveyard, and then you banish a rank 2, a level 2 monster on your field, and a any card on your opponent's field, non-targeting, which is really nice. You also have Valor as your 8th disruption, and then potentially at the final portion of it, you have Nibiru as the 9th disruption. And when that 9th disruption triggers, your Desiree will go to the graveyard. You are going to want to put your Fiendsmith sequence back so you can access your fusion or your Fiendsmith engine once again. So you are going to be able to get rid of that token or something else that's stuck on the board, like a spell and trap, which is 10 interruptions. So this is the 10 interruption test hand board. Unfortunately, we only started with 1 hand trap, so if we were going second, we would have had a worse time. But we did end up plussing real hard if we got to go first. But yeah, this type of deck is super high ceiling. I'm not saying that it's good, but I just want to show you that a deck like this is very capable, and it melds very well with these broken, extremely accessible engines now in the form of the Azamina engine and the Fiendsmith engine. You just end on like 10 negates, which is insane. And the way that the combo works, you're usually protecting your board super early, as long as you're not dealing with a Mulch Army, and you're able to really capitalize on that and really build a strong board that really cannot be penetrated while playing one of your favorite strategies. At least I hope that if you're watching this Spright combo video that this is one of your favorite strategies. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Go ahead and subscribe for tomorrow's video, which is the deck profile for this list. And feel free to make any changes to it. It's just a cookie cutter base board reference point for you to put your own spin and twist on it. I really like this deck combined with Kashtira cards, but with this current build, I didn't have enough room to include everything that I wanted, to have the extra deck have everything that really links all the engines together, like the Mecha Fan and Beast Draco Sack, for example, that would be like mandatory in that list. It just wouldn't fit in this deck. So make sure you keep an eye out for that deck profile. Subscribe for more.